So welcome to another episode of Talk of the Lane, episode 5. It's the 4th of May. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. Ryan Mason's Tottenham are 2 out of 2 in the Premier League, 2 wins out of 2. I'm joined today by Paul, Gavin and Jermaine as always. How are we feeling, lads?
Yeah, good.
In a good
So
mood,
is it just me that's really positive about the last 2 games, or is one of you going to say to me, well, it's only Sheffield United, Ross, and burst my bubble?
No. It is only Sheffield United. I'm positive, but let's put it in perspective. They've lost 27 games this year in the Premier League.
That's made me feel a lot better. that's really brought me down.
No. Let's start on the positives. Mason's team's doing it. They're playing good football. Like, what did we have? Nearly 70% possession. Bale scoring hat-tricks. We had over 20 shots. Like, it's not what we're used to seeing under Jose, definitely. So no, it's
we're actually playing football, ain't we?
Yeah, definitely. And they look like they're enjoying it again.
I'm not going to burst you lot's bubble, but like you lot said, we're playing Sheffield United. We are relegated already. It doesn't mean nothing, let's be honest. Like, it doesn't mean nothing yet. Let's see how we go in the next few games. You know what I mean? Like,
but last season at home, we drew with them.
But Sheffield United last season was a good team. Before the pandemic, I swear they were 6th. But they were higher than us last season.
That's true. They were good.
We also had a bad season as well.
Without fans. Them kind of teams, they needed, if you check Sheffield United stats before the pandemic with fans, go into their ground, they hardly lost there. But without fans, free for all.
I mean, the game at White Hart Lane before the pandemic, obviously. We drew 1-1, but they scored a goal that was ruled off for one of these ridiculous, his armpit was offside or something.
Yeah.
It blatantly looked like a goal. And Ross, you remember, they basically outplayed us all game under Chris Wilder.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. Obviously, this Sheffield United last season is not the Sheffield United of this season. But yeah, shots, Bale hat-trick. Yeah, we've got to be positive. Yeah, 4-0, you've got to take that.
It's just good to see possession again, isn't it? Possession, shots, Dele on the ball, Bale scoring for fun. It's just nice to see again.
Dele played well.
He played all right, considering he's played no football this season.
I thought he moved the ball a lot quicker than usual. One of the things I've been critical of him, he holds the ball too much, too many touches, but I felt like he was actually moving the ball quite quick. Whether that's like the coaching staff making him do that, or whether it's just him developing his game and seeing why he hasn't been in the squad. And it seemed positive all around.
You know, he got a little red hullet hairstyle and thought he could play Dutch style, but
total football.
Right. He played all right. He did play all right.
What you not thinking of Lo Celso?
I do like him. Like when I've seen him play, I do like him. But have we seen enough of him? Has he done enough to hold down that role as a creative midfielder?
I don't mind Lo Celso. I like him, but my main problem is I compare him to Eriksen. I thought he's Eriksen's replacement, and compared to Eriksen,
you've been shortchanged.
That's what I mean. He's not that guy. So if you're comparing him to just the guy that's come in just to do bits for Tottenham, he's doing all right. But when you compare him to Christian Eriksen, it's a massive downgrade, isn't it? At the moment. Yeah,
definitely. Even I agree with that. I wasn't Eriksen's biggest fan. I weren't his biggest fan over the past couple of years. But yeah, I do agree with that. And as you see, Eriksen's out in Italy now, living the dream.
Winning the league.
Won the league and doing what he's doing.
But he's got a new mate out there as well, Jose.
Yeah, so that's a big shock as well. That's a big shock. It's a bit of a surprise. I didn't think he would have went to Roma or something like that.
He's got to get what he's got to get now. You know what I mean? He's not at that elite manager level no more.
That's what I think. I think he knows he's not going to get the Madrids and the Barcelona jobs. He knows he's a little bit less of a manager now. And maybe he either thinks it is he's still there, but he's going to build Roma back up. Or maybe he just thinks this is my level now. But I think Italy suits his football. I think it suits his, pragmatic style. So I think good luck to him out there.
Definitely suits his football. Because defensive manager, slow pace out there.
The game's a bit slow.
I love it. Didn't they give him like a 4-year contract as well?
Yeah, 4 years.
Something crazy. So,
and it's good for us because it gets him off our wage bill now, doesn't it?
Yeah. We don't have to pay him installments or something. So that's like we said, good for us. Keep it moving.
So then, speaking of Jose, should we move on to talking about thoughts on our next manager? Because there's been some development since we last spoke.
Yeah, I know you want Ten Hag, the Ajax manager.
I've wanted him for years.
I think at the moment he's the best one out there for us. I can't see, obviously, Rodgers ain't coming. I don't think Rodgers is leaving Leicester. What about Gerrard?
It's not done enough.
To be fair, I'd rather keep Ryan Mason than Steven Gerrard. I don't see the point when Steven Gerrard comes to Tottenham.
You don't think Gerrard done a good job at Rangers to break Celtic's dominance?
He's done a good job, but I don't think it's enough. You might as well go and get Wayne Rooney if we're going to go and get Steven Gerrard. We've done similar.
Mason.
Nah, it wouldn't work. It's like, that's his first job in Scotland. And Rangers were bad at the time and he's done well with them. But when you look at like Lampard, they got him in as his for Chelsea, they got him in and that was like his first big job. He didn't cut it really, did he? So I feel like if Gerrard ever came here and the pressure, he won't have no pressure if he came here. And I don't think he would perform. When he was playing for Liverpool, he had them man threatening him and like willing to rob his yard every time he played football. So he had to perform. He was putting in great performances and stuff. With Tottenham, they weren't mind, man. They were here and there complain, but that's about it. He won't have that pressure. So he's not. His heart wouldn't be in it for us. I can't have him.
Yeah, I think he's good enough here either.
I think a majority of the names are not good enough. When you think they're saying about Scotty Parker, Potter, and all these, they're not experienced enough. I don't think for the size of the club, even though people say Tottenham are not a massive club, it's a big job. It is a high pressure job. And you think of the people that have come before him in Poch and Jose, they're big names. They're big managers, big names. So to bring someone like Scotty Parker in who's basically taken Fulham down, I don't think it's the right names are not being mentioned, apart from obviously Ten Hag and maybe Brendan Rodgers.
Do you not think we've lost that? We were meant to be a top 4 team. If you think in the last few seasons, we could be not in Europe next season. So
I agree. I still think we're bigger than the names we've been linked with. Like this week, I've seen Graham Potter, who I don't mind as a guy, but I don't want him at Tottenham. I've seen Scott Parker and I've seen Eddie Howe. Like they're all decent mid-table team managers, do you know what I mean? But I don't think they're good enough for our club. And then you look at some other news and you see Hansi Flick's been linked to us. So how can you go from Graham Potter and Scott Parker to a guy that won the triple at Barcelona, at Bayern Munich?
Yeah, I hear that. And like you said, mid-table managers, how many positions away from 10th? It's, you know what I mean? We're only getting linked with what they're around. You got to think, is Allergy going to come to us if we're not even in Europe? Man, you know what I mean? Top managers, are they really going to come to the team that's not in Europe? Knowing as well, it's not like Levy's going to be like, here's 400 million to get us back into Europe. He'll be like, here's the squad, sell who you need to make money, and that will be it.
It depends how good they think we are as a club, though, doesn't it? Because
I think that's more the stumbling block
thing. Like if Allegri came, he could be saying, all right, it's 1 year out of Champions League, but I'll be there. I'll get them in top 4 next year. And then Allegri can build something. Like, I don't actually mind him. He's a good manager. We've been linked with him, but it's gone quiet recently. So I don't know. Maybe we've made contact and it's not been reciprocated. I'm not sure.
The thing is, when we got Pochettino and he had that first season with us, and then the second season he got us into the Champions League, who did we really go out and buy at that time?
No one.
I don't think Levy really cares about giving us that money. And even when we do qualify, we don't really attract anyone that much. And like when we do attract them, it all falls apart because Levy ends up being dodgy. Like when we was, I think we was linked with Aubameyang at one point when he was at Dortmund, I think it is, and he came out and had an interview and he was like, "Yeah, like Levy's a weird guy." So I don't know if we're going to even attract anyone or like whatever manager comes in. I don't know if he'll get the money to spend.
Yeah, would you want to go to a job where you're not going to get the basic tools to do the job? If you know that like they're not going to supply you what you need, there's proven track record that every manager never gets what they need, what they ask for. They just bare minimum. Would the top managers maybe go there if they've
You
got
don't always
opportunity?
need to come in and spend all the money. Like if you look at Rodgers, for example, and I always bang on about Brendan, but he's gone into Leicester. They haven't spent much. I know they've got quite good players.
No,
but
but
the
they
way
haven't
he's
spent
put them
what
in
they needed.
they haven't spent much at all, have they, under Rodgers?
Oh,
Yeah,
have
but
spent
they
a
have-
bit.
But they have, when he asks the chairman, he needs this player, that player, and that player, he gets what he needs. They might not be world beaters or the top
Yeah, but
range, top
Jose come
caliber
in and asked
players.
for £80 million defenders. If you think in the last couple of years, we've spent 40 million on Sanchez. I know he's not worked out, but 40 million on defenders quite a lot. We spent probably the same on Lo Celso. We spent the same on Ndombele. So in the last 3 to 5 years, we have spent 40 odd million on a good couple players.
Yeah.
It's just not quite worked out. So now it looks like we haven't spent the money.
But we needed a bigger investment. That's the problem. Like if you go to Liverpool, they spent, but they've all look at that Keita. I swear they spent 65 million on him. He's hardly played. You know what I mean? They spent money. We were just tactical spending. It was like, yeah. And you got to think 40 million now, is that a lot of money with the signings? It's not how it used to be. So yeah, I think we need a bigger investment. And I think managers coming now, if you look at that squad, come on, the defense now, our defense looks awful.
Yeah,
Let's
but
be honest,
barring our
like-
defence, we don't need that much going forward. Midfield and up front, we're quite strong.
So you're the thinking, Kane out of the situation. Kane gets injured. We always go back to, because that Benicia ain't staying, is he?
I think he's going back to Benfica, isn't he? I think they're looking, there's reports they were looking for replacements.
I don't blame him either. If he goes back, I don't blame him because, like, if I was him, I'd be angry because you come in technically as a replacement. Kane gets injured. He wasn't even getting started. So what happens there?
No, it's
Like,
true.
we want a backup striker or not. And I hate that phrase backup striker, by the way, because it's rude. Like, you can't have someone as backup. Like, you just have another striker. Say it as that. Because if Tottenham was recruiting and saying we want a backup striker and I'm a striker at another club, I'm not going to want to go over there because I'm hearing backup. It's not appealing.
If they say backup or not, you know you ain't starting over Harry Kane.
Yeah, but you would want to just hear they want another striker because then that way you still think, okay, cool. And either way, you're going to, like, whatever club you go to, you always have to fight for your place anyway. And I don't care how good, like if I went to, I don't know, say if I go to Tottenham, I'm going to want to challenge Harry Kane. Say that again?
No, carry on.
Oh yeah, I was saying that I would want to challenge Harry Kane. I would want to, you know, you have to fight for your place. It's just like anyone that goes to any club. There's always someone in that same position, and you wanna fight for your place. You wanna get in that starting lineup. So if you just hear backup striker, that's off-putting.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. I agree with Jay.
Yeah, you need the options.
There is games sometimes Kane ain't playing his best, and we should sub him, but he ends up playing 90 minutes, gets injured because we overplay him.
Yeah, at the weekend he could have scored a hat trick. I'm not saying he played bad, but he could have scored a hat trick easily on a good day for Harry Kane.
Yeah,
missed a couple chances.
The way he looked on the weekend is like his heart wasn't in it. Like his mind was on something else now. So I don't know. I hope he turns it around. I think is it Leeds next? I think, you know, I hope he scores against them and just calms my nerves a bit because he seems like his head's not in the game anymore.
What's your prediction for the Leeds match?
I think
if we play like we played against Sheffield United and we go out on the front foot and we attack and there's a potential we could score a lot of goals there because they're so open.
That's the thing. They play a very open game, and that plays into our strengths because we've got the players like you saw at the weekend. Look, some of our breaks were lightning. Leeds can't defend against that.
But neither can we. That's what I think. I think this game will probably end up being like a 4-4 type of game because both our defenses ain't that great. And you know, if they're clinical at the time, then they will get their chance. They'll take their chances against our defense, and I think we will take our chances against their defense. So yeah, I don't know. It could be a high scoring draw.
So the thing is, though, if we beat them, it takes us into the last 3 games in like a little bit of a position where if we keep winning, we can sneak in top 4. You know.
Yeah, I don't think
because you got a few of the teams.
Chelsea just need to win like 2 more games, basically.
Yeah, but have you seen Leicester's fixtures? They've got
I know
United.
they got us last game of the season.
Yeah, and they've
Who else
got
they got?
United and Chelsea before that. So I think they've got Newcastle, which I would imagine they would win, but then they've got United and Chelsea.
Yeah, but if they beat Newcastle, even if they lost the ones against, who did say, Man United and Chelsea,
I think
I
they're
swear
both
we wouldn't
away
be
as
able to
well.
catch them.
Because we play them last game. So if we win them all, we can
If
finish.
we
the
win our
table.
last 4 games and what Leicester win 1 and lose 3, we'd overtake them.
I think so, yeah.
I think we'd be there or thereabouts. I think we're level because I see something on Twitter where they were saying about the goal difference being the right amount of goal difference to like be in the mix kind of thing. So at the moment, anyway. So it'll be tight either way.
As the players say, let's take one game at a time.
Oh, definitely.
If I was talking about win 4, probably we're only going to win 1. Next time.
Yeah, like we've got, so it's Leeds, Wolves, Villa, and then Leicester. So
they're 4 winnable games.
Oh, they're not.
I'm not saying we're going
You're
to.
thinking 3 years ago, Tottenham. You know when you're like, yeah, 3 points there, and this ain't that team no more.
No, Cap. I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm saying they're very winnable games.
Well, I thought a lot of games were very winnable this season.
Yeah, but we haven't got Jose anymore, man.
Newcastle,
with different setups.
We're actually playing football now.
Let's see.
We do look better on the front foot. Definitely, it suits our style. It suits the players as well. So, what do you guys think?
In his interview, had a little dig at Jose.
What do you guys think about Glenn Hoddle? His comments about Ndombele. Did you hear? He was saying that he said he's not the quality for Spurs. He takes too many touches. He slows the game down.
Yeah.
And he should be a squad player for Spurs. He's not a starter in Glenn Hoddle's eyes. He's not the player that should be starting in that central midfield.
yeah, I can't take any of his opinions seriously after he said about that wheelchair comment. So I
No,
don't.
but again, I think Hoddle's coming from the perspective where he compares all of our attacking mids to Christian Eriksen, and we ain't got that world-class centre mid anymore. So as far as our squad's concerned, Ndombele should be starting.
Yeah, one thing I do like about Ndombele, he's got good touch, and he always looks to go forward.
Yeah,
That is something like, look at some of the stuff this season he's created out of nothing. You know what I mean? And that's what you want in a centre midfielder. I agree he's probably not as fit as he should be, or he doesn't run. You know what I mean? But yeah, with what we've got in centre midfield, I think he should start. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
but if he went to a Liverpool or a City, he ain't starting.
But you got to think, if he's at City, the way they play, they've got the ball 80% of the time. Probably suit. You know what I mean?
I still don't think
Probably
it's.
suit him.
I know what you mean.
Because you got to think City, majority of the time, have the ball. Like,
So what do you think? What do you think Mason goes with next game? Do you think he keeps it the same with Dele is at 10, Holberg, Lo Celso? Do you think that's the key going forward? Bal, Kane, Son, that kind of formation, or do you think there's people that have missed out what should have been in there?
I would actually sort of stick with the same team and make one change. I think and this will be linked to what we were just talking about. I would actually start Ndombele and leave Lo Celso on the bench.
Okay. Yes, similar. A creative midfielder for a creative midfielder. So it's not really changing the system. So it would suit the team as well. I thought Aurier played well as well.
Yeah, no, he did.
Aurier does have some good games, and then he'll do a red card or a penalty. So that's my only thing with Aurier. He hasn't been consistent enough for me, but he has. When he does play well, he does play good. That's one thing I can say.
Yeah, but once again, he was playing quite high, so that suits us. When we're pushing out and we're attacking, it's less defending that he's going to be doing.
Yeah, and
so them little mistakes, we would hopefully bring them down.
And it's like his little lofted ball for Bale's goal. He did play well, I thought.
Yeah. It's the same with Reguilon. When we're attacking, everything looks good. And on the way back, it's like, you know what I mean? But
this is the thing now, against smaller teams who are, not as good as us, say, for example, Sheffield and possibly Leeds, if we're on the front foot and we're attacking them, we don't have to worry so much about Reggie or Serge making a mistake at the back, because we should be in their half. We should be putting the pressure on them. And that's where Mason's turned it around a bit.
Well, trying to turn it around, Paul. Still early.
100% record in the Premier League, mate.
I know. Still early.
You can only play what's in front of you. 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2, 6 points. Under Jose, that could have been 2 points in 2 games. Could have been 2 draws.
This is what they call the new manager bounce, because when Jose took over, we had that excitement at the start. We were winning a couple games. So this is the same thing. So we have to wait and see what happens. It might change, yeah.
All right, so predictions then.
I'll say 3-1 Spurs. I think it's gonna be very open.
I was gonna go 4-2.
Whoa.
Spurs.
What, you're playing FIFA or the game?
Hey, inexperienced manager, and they're a nuts team, so I'm going for a high scoring game.
I'm going 2-0 Spurs.
Clean sheet, nice.
Yeah?
We're going to keep a clean sheet, yeah?
Yeah, 2-0.
I'll take that.
These have gone off a boil attacking wise, so.
Their form recently, I checked earlier, so they've won in the last 5, they've won 2, lost 1 and drawn 2. So they're not in great form. Like their last 3 games, they've taken 2 points in the Prem.
Exactly, so I think, 2-0. Jay, what do you say?
You're sticking to
I think probably about 2-2. 2-2 or 3-3.
Okay.
Let's go for the draw.
If we win, who's saying we're getting top 4?
Top 4 is still a long way off.
I think top 4 out of the question.
I think it's gone. So if we win, we're just talking about Europa.
Yeah, I think Europa's the more possible.
Yeah, because I can't see us beating Leicester last season. I can't see that. I can't even see us winning all 4 games anyway, but we just need to. Yeah, Europa League. Well, Liverpool are still out around there. West Ham, because obviously Chelsea and Leicester in the cup final.
Yeah.
So it gives 5. It goes down to 7th. Yeah, so 5th, 6th, and 7th Europa League. So 5th will be 3 places between us, West Ham, Everton, and Liverpool. So someone's going to miss out.
Unless West Ham keep winning and stay top 4.
No, they're not. But they won't be top 4. Remember, when Chelsea play, everyone plays their game. West Ham will be 5th. So yeah, at the moment I think Leicester then Chelsea. So it's between West Ham, us, Liverpool, and Everton. I think Liverpool will get there.
They got United to play though on this rearranged game.
Yeah, but Man U are only concentrating now on Europa League.
So do you want to quickly touch on the protests? Should we discuss that quickly?
Yeah. What's your views on the protests?
I think fans are entitled to have their say. I agree with the message. They want the ball down and they've gone to protest. I don't agree with breaking into the stadium and storming the pitch and postponing the game, because that's like nuts. But I agree with what they're doing, and that we're also saying earlier, we've got one on the 15th planned, a protest against the board, to get ENIC out. So it's just people having their say, isn't it? So I've got nothing against that. I just didn't agree with breaking in.
Yeah.
The thing is, my view on it, I just think they've got the game abandoned, which is just stupid now, because the fixtures for them is just going to be in the long run. Like, it's going to hurt them more. And the thing is, nothing's going to change for these owners. They're not going to sell the club because when in the, you know what I mean? They're probably on their yacht watching. That looks nice. You know what I mean? The
thing is, I had to make them listen. Is no one renewed this season ticket, and then they'll sit up and listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the main way.
But
are you sure? Because if I want to be controversial here, and you want to be effective in certain situations, should we just do like another media blackout, and that way it might be effective, because that's what they seem to think works these days.
Obviously that media blackout ain't gonna change the goddamn thing. It's just
exactly.
They just jump on. Yeah, I know that's what it's saying. You're being sarcastic. It's like literally like what Paul said. The only way the owners will feel is when the fans don't renew season tickets. But where they've got us, you don't renew your season ticket, you're back at the end of the queue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're waiting.
You're not getting back in. Yeah.
So no one's going to do that. The only, unless what you should do as a fan is say, okay, for the first 10 minutes of the match, everyone waits outside the turnstile, or no one goes up to the, you know what I mean, into the seats.
Hmm.
So the owners
Didn't
can see.
Liverpool try something like that before?
So didn't they leave after they turned
they
their
left
backs or
after a
something, or
certain amount
leave
of time. Yeah, they did something like that before,
Yeah.
and I think it worked.
I think that's good for the media side of things because it shows how big a problem it is or how much support they've got. But bottom line, as you said, it's the money. The money, as long as the money keeps trickling in, like look at Arsenal, they don't care when the stadium's only got 20,000. They still say they've got 59,000 in the ground. They don't care. They're, as long as the money keeps on the balance sheet and the shareholders keep getting their dividends every year, they're happy. When the dividends start going down and cut in half and they start asking the board, where's my money? I've invested this much over the years. I usually get 500 grand a year. Now I'm only getting 200 grand. Where's the money? And the wives are on their back saying, why are you only earning this much? And why am I only spending this much? That's when questions start getting asked. But I think
until 2 minutes from the end of the podcast to mention, have a little dig at Arsenal. That was good work.
Why not? It wouldn't be right, would it? We've got a... But yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Till the protests affect the money, then. What did you see about Chelsea? They've actually decided to let someone from the supporters club on the board for the board meetings now.
That's what Spurs have requested. That the supporters club, they've requested a similar thing where they've got someone representing the fans, so that at least anything that does get agreed at board level, they have got some kind of information and some kind of viewpoint on it.
Yeah, but our supporters board attend board meetings. So I listened to another podcast another week about this, and they were saying so they directly asked Daniel Levy the question about European Super League, and Daniel Levy refused to answer on the grounds that it's not on the table. We don't need to discuss things that aren't going to happen. A month later, Tottenham announced in the media they've signed a deal to join the Super League.
Yeah.
So even those people on the boards, they're lied to, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. But this is why we need to, as we said, like I think Man United are doing another protest as well. I think their supporter groups are planning to do it every game till the end of the season now. So I think everyone together, if all clubs done it together, like Spurs done it for the remaining home games, and everyone does their home games and protests and work together, hopefully they can try and cause some change in football somehow.
Yeah.
Before we go, Tottenham Hotspur, the trust, the supporters trust, by the way, I don't know if you can see it. They basically released a statement today, so you lot can check that out, innit?
Okay, I'll go and check. I haven't seen that. Yeah, I'll go and check that.
Ross, close it for us for this week's podcast.
Well, we'll leave it on a positive note. But 2-2 Saturday at 12:30. Obviously got Leeds. Hopefully 3-3 for Ryan Mason, and we're hopefully have another positive reaction to that game.
Yeah.
See you.
All right, nice one, lads.
Weekend.
All right, up the Spurs.
Up the Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.